Hey guys, welcome to another 90-day recap chat here on CBS Media where we talk faith, love, and trends. We're doing 90 Day the Other Way. 90 Day Fiance is a reality show that follows couples, one from another country, one from the US, their ups and downs, their struggles, all couples may have, on top of language barriers, cultural boundaries, trying to get married within that 90-day mark. All the legal ramifications of trying to live in another country, all of that is 90 Day Fiance. All right, let's get right into Dylan and Patia. They are going out for a night out. I believe they're in Australia, but he takes her to an Irish pub, which she's a little surprised. It seems like it's not her scene. To me, I almost feel like maybe she's a little bit bougie and like, you know what, this is a little beneath me. But whatever the case, she meets up with Dylan's friend. He's also a dancer as well as his brother. And so he says, I've been teaching her some words. Tinnies, which is like a can of beer, bugger, which is like a mild swear word. Just sharing a little bit of cultural information for you from Australia. But his brother kind of talks too much. He looks like a little bit of a more film soft version of Dylan. He looks like he's had a little work done. He may be a little bit on the bougie side like Patia on some level. But from what we know at this moment, he can talk a bit much. And his friend's like, well, how's things going with mom? Did you meet the mom? How'd that go? And Patia still feels some type of way about Dylan's mom, but she knows as far as his brother goes that he's gonna probably blab it. So she can't really say too much. She's like, everything's fine and whatnot. They kind of bring up their whole 12-year issues of being in a relationship. But Dylan, says, you know what, I will have a song. I'm gonna surprise you. So he goes up there on the guitar, and he's a bit off, but he can keep his tune enough. But he said something about his heart jumps like a kangaroo. I was like, okay, good try. It was good enough for her because she starts to cry. Of course, if your boo sings you a song, even if it's kind of bad, you're going to cry. That's love right there. You're not crying from how bad it is, but just crying because someone made a song for you, right? So this kind of spells hope for them. They share a little kiss after this song. Up next, they go out to the countryside, a beautiful area where mom lives, to have dinner with mom and bro. Hope they get along. It's a beautiful view out there. And all Dylan notices is how nice the two ladies are being to each other. They're putting on a front, which he mentioned this before when they talked before, and mom and Patia met up. They were kind of putting on a front, but she said, I am doing that because I really don't like her, but I'll just try to keep it cordial. He cooks. And she's happy that he's cooking because she says the hate that his mom has for her might actually just make her sick. She can't even fathom eating from the enemy, so to speak. Like if your enemy cooks you a meal, like either, she didn't say this, but you could think either they poisoned you, they put something disgusting in there, they made it nasty for you, or just the mere hate they have for you curses the meal somehow. So this is like a fear that Patia has. So she's really glad that Dylan's cooking. And as they're eating, mom has some of the meat or something gets in her hair, and his brother tries to take it out. She's like, oh, is it kangaroo in my hair? And she was like, Patia's looking around kind of crazy. And they showed them biting the food before. The way she was eating it, it looked a little gamey to me. I don't know if it was, but she was like trying to chew it off the fork and like pull it off the fork and bite it some type of way. It kind of looked a little bit like liver to me, but I like liver. A lot of people don't. Anyway, They put her through all of her eating this, and then she finds out she's eating kangaroo. She's like, no, I can't believe it. She said it does taste like steak, but no, I don't want to eat kangaroo and not know I'm eating kangaroo. They're so cute. Why am I eating kangaroo? Dylan, why did you lie to me? So she was afraid that Moms was gonna deceive her with that food, but really Dylan deceived her, and Dylan deceived her in more than one way, we find. He said, well, I had to sneak it on you because I knew you weren't going to eat it otherwise. I kind of get where he's coming from, but I don't kind of get the lies that were shared between him and Patia about Mom, because Mom was like, okay, so they were like, let's clear the air, let's be real here. How you feel about me? My mom's like, what issues are we having? And she was like, well, I felt like you always resented me because Dylan told me that I was older, and you always wished that he was with a younger woman that could give him grandkids. And so I thought that you didn't like me. I thought you resented me. I thought you hated me. And Dylan's mom was like, oh, no, I don't even care about that. She's like, I don't really care about grandkids like that. And I was like, what? And Patia was like, what? It's like, all of this time, all these years, she resented the mom, but never heard it from the mom's mouth how she really felt. So Dylan's acting like, I don't remember saying that to you. Even if I did, let's just move past that and let's just, get along. And then the producers take him to the side and say, did you really say that to her? He's like, he has this little smirk on his face, this devious grin. I might have said that. Like, so what type of guy is this Dylan guy anyway, to set her up that way? I'm sorry, I don't like that. I think that was deceptive. And for all those years, he knew the tension that she was having with Mom. He could have squashed it a long time ago and was like, Mom she never really said that. But no, the lie just continued for years and years, and he never went back. So that was a revelation for their relationship. Will it go forward? I'm sure. I guess it will. I feel like Patia's older, and she feels like she's put a big stake into this guy. Not a kangaroo, but a big stake. So I don't think she's going to give up on him that easily. But if I see any other issues or red flags, I wouldn't be too happy. I think that was kind of a big thing to, wedge between his mom and his woman. I don't like it. What do you guys think? Is it that big to break up the relationship, though? I don't know. Next up, Mignon and Anthony. Now, things are tense at the parents' house. Last time they got in an argument after the party for the baptism for little Ben. Mignon lets us know that she texted her sister, talked to her, they cleared things up, but things are still tense with her parents. And it lit a fire under her to get out, and I was like, yeah, I think that's what she should do. Get out after all those altercations with her parents. And her parents hated on her, right? So now her and Anthony are going to go see a house. It's 100% what Mignon wants. It's lakes, waterfalls in the area. It's a small village, and it's an hour away from her parents, just far enough where they won't get on her nerves, right? 3 to 5 bedrooms, pool and a view. It's all within their budget, right at the top of their budget, though. So, Anthony points that out. She's like, well, we can negotiate. He's like, well, why don't we rent? And she screams. She says apartments are jails. She just kind of goes off on a rant and shows how spoiled she is. But she says, I always do what you want. So if I don't tell me this, because I'm going to end up doing what you want. And he tries to talk her down and say, okay, we can work this out. We can figure this out. But he's got a spoiled jump off wife that just jumps off at any moment. And I guess he's into that. I don't know. They're complete opposites when it comes to their temperament. But he can be passive aggressive in the way that he confronts her as well. So Mignon, when she gets there, I guess they were supposed to play it cool, but she actually is really giddy and excited, like she really wants this house, like she'd do anything for this house. And that's the last thing you need to show the realtor, because you have to play it cool, like, I have other options. But she's really excited and happy. The tub was nice. The tub and the showers, I like the marble. It was a nice looking place. It looked a little, it didn't look updated, it looked a little bit antique-ish, but some people are into that look. That's my thoughts. So as they, excuse me, they find out that, how much it's going to cost. They also find out that it was issues like asbestos in there and, so many things going wrong with the house that, he said, maybe we should keep looking. And she's like, you know what? You're right. She said she wanted to get the house, but she's going to listen to Anthony because the asbestos, it's like asbestos in the roof. It's different things now. The person selling it said they would deduct that from the actual price of the house, and then you guys can kind of pay for it on your own and deduct it from the price of the house. That's fine, but I guess Mignon really didn't want to try to do anything with that. So they're going to keep looking. But as they're going home talking about this, and now Mignon wants to try to get a job again, and he's like, well, this is the whole point, is for you to stay home with Ben and connect with him. Things have been going well. I don't want you to start trying to jump out for work. She's like, well, that's the only way we're going to have the amazing life that I want. I'm the network queen. You have no friends. He's like, well, at least I got Ben. It was like, to me, very negative, the way she talks down to him. Telling him he has no friends and all that. So at least he has the son. It's like the only one that's on his side. That's kind of like bogus the way she treats him, man. I was really kind of upset because I was kind of cool with Mignon. I thought she was just a very passionate person, which her husband even said that. But when she started talking down him, saying he doesn't have any friends, she's a networking queen, and there's other things she said. Like she said, his earning potential and the abilities that he has, as far as just, he said, oh, maybe I could teach English. She's like, well, you're going to be making pennies compared to what I can make. And I kind of understand how she was saying, because he's in another country and he doesn't know everything and he has to learn the language. But it sounded like she was just straight up putting him down, like he had little to no earning potential and he couldn't take care of the family the way that she could. And she's hopped back on her train of superiority against her own husband. And to me, at first, it was like a thing where, okay, we know that you make more money. He seems to be okay with this. He could be the happy house husband. But now that he's trying to step up, you're kind of pushing him back down, trying to take over, trying to be the queen of England, the queen of France or whatever, over your own husband, and not trying to hype and build him up. That's just like such a negative vibe. So to me, now that I'm looking back and her parents called her out and were negative toward her, I was like, now I'm thinking, hey, your parents kind of have a point with your attitude. Like, I'm really going thumbs down on Mignon right now. And the way she said, you'll never ever make money like I do. And he said, he let the producers know that it did make him feel bad. And so this is the dynamic between her and her husband. It's just so negative. And I just don't like Mignon right now. And I don't know if she could redeem herself with me. But sometimes I don't know how people can put up with certain people. Now, I know some people do because they have a certain lifestyle. Or maybe he's happy with the lifestyle that they had. But at this point, he's trying to step up. He's trying to change the game. And for her to just belittle him and not hype him up and not even help him come up with resources is better than saying, you'll never be what I am. And I don't know, some people have to do that. It's like a little bit narcissistic. They have to do that to make themselves feel good, is to put other people down. And to put down someone you love like that, never a good look. All right, so now we're on Gen A and Submit. It is the actual opening day now. Are we going to make money today? We are going to make money today, which is what Submit says. Jenny was making fun of them because they were giving out free plates of food. and not making money. So like, we're going to make money today. So a customer arrives. He's waiting for his coffee, and Jenny struggles with the coffee machine. He's looking pretty impatient. She's in charge of the machine, doesn't know what she's doing. She calls Dad over, and the customer himself was like, you know what? It's not even plugged in. It was an LOL moment. Submit comes and tries to help. They're all like, well, can you give us a few more minutes? He's like, I'm late. I gotta go. So he leaves. So they lost the customer. Submit's looking at her kind of funny, like, you made us lose a customer. And Jeannie pauses, like, well, then I can go home then. So she gets an instant attitude. And, Submit's like, basically Submit and his dad's like, they're kind of talking. And Dad's like, if she didn't know how to use a machine, she should have said something. We're going to lose customers with her not being able to know what to do. And then she's going to get an attitude and jump off after that. She has horrible customer service skills. I don't know what she did before, guys, before she retired, but then I would have, Submit was like, hold on, can you wait a few more minutes? I would have also said to the young man, please come back again. Next time we'll give you a free coffee. They should have did something to get this guy to come back. He was very patient. He was like a very cool person, a very cool customer. He even told them to plug the freaking machine up. And you guys just let this kid down. And could have offered him a free coffee or something free when he comes back, or even just offered him whatever they had laying around for free at that moment. That would have been something to keep the customer. They have horrible customer service skills. That's something they're really going to have to work on. But that's basically all that happened with those guys. But that was enough. Jeannie was all complaining and find out, you're a big problem yourself, Jeannie. You don't know how to use the stuff. So you got to learn how to use the stuff. Or they need to put her on something else. If she doesn't know how to do that, give her a job she can do. I mean, make it easy on yourself, guys. You don't have to reinvent the wheel with her. If she doesn't know what she's doing, just have her do something else. All right. Johnny and Chloe, we close out with these two. After Chloe and her mom talked, they were looking for a car. Mom's like, I'm cutting you off. I'm not going to be sending you any more money. The car situation, we couldn't find a car within that budget. So now the three of them go up to, looks like they're meeting for dinner. Chloe's basically saying, whatever the case is happening, whatever she cuts me off or not, I'm not coming home. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to do this life with Johnny. We're going to find a plan B, basically. But Mom breaks the news to all three of them. I told Chloe basically I'm not helping her anymore. And Johnny says maybe that's a good thing because she's so used to just having someone, a crutch, so to speak. So now she has to figure things out on her own. This might be good for her to kind of step out on her own, test her strength. Mom says you guys need to really just come up with a solid plan of what you're going to do. They mentioned something about a worker's permit that she has to get every 3 months, but it's $600. It's not cheap. There are obstacles in their way. Mom is kind of being negative and saying she doesn't really see how they're going to make this work. And the two of them kind of fight. And I thought she was very rude and disrespectful to her mom. You can disagree with your mom without... I feel like she was very rude. She was... To me, I'll never feel like I'm on the same level as my mom. Just like she was fighting with someone that was her age. But this is your mom. She's your elder and your mom. So to me, I think she was a little disrespectful the way she came at Mom. Mom should have taught her a little bit more better manners, though. Mom can kind of blame herself for that because I think she spoiled her a bit. But she did say, I will help and support you guys, but you have to come back to Boston with me. So basically, it's going to be a situation where she's going to be controlling them. And to me, if I was Chloe, I would just stay there and try to figure it out. I wouldn't go back to Mom. The way she's doing things, it sounds like it's going to be controlling. She's going to probably be controlling both of them. Her grandkids, whenever they come out, they're going to be under her thumb. And I can see them getting help from her from the beginning, if they did move to Boston, but they definitely need to move out and find their own way. And Chloe can do that because she does have experience working with her mom. She would probably be able to find another decent job and they can move on. Johnny may need a little bit more time because he's from another country, he has a certain set of skills, pirating. That's something some people don't do, everywhere easily in all places and spaces. So it may be a little difficult for him to find that type of work, but he can do that. But for me, I wouldn't want to do that because I feel like mom's going to control things and have her thumb on them. And she just wants to control and protect her little baby. And she's trying to be a woman right now. So for me, I wouldn't take mom's deal. What do you guys think? Thoughts, comments, questions? Feel free to drop it in the chat. Email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com. This is CBiz Media, where we talk faith, love, and trends. Was a pretty good episode. Can't wait to see what's going to happen next as we end up this particular season of 90 Day the Other Way. I'll talk to you guys again. This is Irene. All the best. God bless.